My name is Andreas Meudt. I'm responsible for the product line exclusive synthesis of Evonik. We are making APIs and intermediates for the pharma industry. Speaking about top unmet needs in this industry, I would like to name two in particular. The first one I would like to talk about is strongly increasing complexity of projects we are seeing. The ultimate reason is clear. Pharma firms are focusing more and more on their core competence, which is the development of new API and marketing of these. And that means, from a strategic viewpoint, that pharma firms should outsource their projects, the production of APIs and so on. So that means they are logically outsourcing more and more complex projects. That is where top CMO needs to be able to support people best. What we are seeing is more and more competencies are required for such projects. In the past, it was one or two different technologies. Nowadays, we are seeing sometimes you need 10 or up to 20 different competencies. We at Evonik Healthcare, we have identified we have a total of more than 50 different competencies where we are really strong at. And what our ultimate mission is, we are trying to combine as many as possible of these to help customers best, to really tailor our services. To give one example, we have recently received a very encouraging feedback from a customer. They have told us that they have looked around the whole globe and they have only found one company, Evonik, who could fulfill all of their demands. So all technologies needed in their case was only available at Evonik. That is why we are thinking we are a very good partner for pharma firms for their really important projects. Up to a few years ago, many people were thinking that all of this CMO business would disappear into China and India in a few years. This has not come true. It's just the opposite. We are hearing from almost all major pharma firms that they are coming back to the West. There are a lot of reasons for that. In the past, people were looking into the costs of their APIs only. They did not look into the total costs of ownership. Many people have learned their lesson. There have been a lot of scandals in China, and that has cost pharma firms many years of delay in their projects. And if you also look at the strongly increasing regulatory requirements, the FDA, for example, is getting tighter and tighter in their control. That means a really good world-class supplier needs to be very strong on the regulatory side and needs to follow the rules. Talking specifically about the API, we have a very strong technology basis. To give a few examples, we are, according to customers and our own information, the number one in high potency API. That's very important. There are a lot of new API in development against cancer, and almost all of these are anti-cancer high potency API. So this is very important to customers that we can help them in this field, in this strongly growing field. Biotechnology is getting more and more important, as we all know. Evonik is very, active in enzyme chemistry, but also in fermentations. We have recently invested into a multi-purpose pilot plant for fermentations. That finds a lot of interest at customers. PECs and activated PECs play an strongly increasing role for pharma firms. There are more than 100 projects in pharma firms' pipelines. We have invested into a production unit here in Germany where we can make highly pure PECs for pharma firms. The interest is really massive and very encouraging for further investments into that field. The The last one I should mention is talking about continuous reactions. That's a very strong trend in pharma. Pharma firms are all looking into continuous processes to bring costs down and to make chemistries possible which have not been possible to run at large scale. That can be done by the so-called continuous processes. Evonik is already today running more than 60% of its product volume via continuous processes. We are expanding this into the pharma and API field right now. Competitive advantage is a very important topic in our industry. I mean, we always need to be better than competition in the relevant aspects to customers. I mean, it means you can see it from the technology viewpoint. We need to have better technologies, need to be faster in bringing new things into the industry. And ultimately, we'll also need to look into that we remain competitive on the cost side. And that can be done very efficiently via these new technologies.